Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to dive into a simple human quirk, one that connects everything from a funny little observation on the internet all the way to some of life's most profound, most difficult choices. We're talking about the powerful and often subconscious act of wanting. So let's just jump right in with a question that, it seems almost childish, but it has some surprisingly deep answers. Have you ever felt that pull? You're perfectly happy 1 second, and then the next, you see something someone else has, and all of a sudden, you have to have it too. What's the deal with that?
Well, a Reddit user who was talking about this exact thing shared this fantastic Spanish phrase that just nails it. Culo veo, culo quiero. It perfectly captures that immediate, almost reflexive, I want it feeling. It's blunt, it's funny, and it is so relatable. But this impulse, it's not just some harmless little quirk.
To really get what's going on here, we have to look at the hidden tax our own mind puts on our desires. This is where our emotions can really start to take over and override our logic. It's called the wanting it tax, and the core idea is simple. Your own eagerness can become your biggest liability. The very act of wanting something so intensely can actually make it harder to get, because that desire, it clouds your judgment, and it really weakens your position. Let's see how this plays out in, say, a simple negotiation. So imagine this. A couple is in an antique store, and they spot a clock they absolutely fall in love with. The wife turns to her husband and says she just has to have it. But the store owner overhears them. So when they go to haggle on the price, the owner doesn't budge, not one bit. And why would he? He knows they've already lost their most powerful negotiating tool, the ability to just walk away. Their obvious desire cost them real money. They paid a literal tax for wanting it so badly. Okay, so that's an antique clock. Now let's really raise the stakes. What happens when the same wanting it tax plays out not over a price tag, but in something as serious as a child custody battle? In these incredibly difficult situations, the official goal is always what's best for the child. But that intense, raw desire to win against the other parent, it can completely eclipse that goal. And here, the wanting it tax isn't paid with money. It's paid through actions that end up sabotaging your own case.
And here's what that actually looks like in practice. A court is looking for a parent who can foster a healthy relationship with the other parent. But actions like bad-mouthing, starting fights, blocking communication, those are all driven by that emotional need to win. And they directly and badly harm a parent's case. It is the costliest form of the wanting it tax you can imagine.
We're going to shift gears now to talk about the most profound and, frankly, tragic form this psychology can take. We'll proceed with care here as we discuss where a desperate desire can lead when the object isn't a thing or a victory, but simply relief. And this is where we really get to the heart of the matter. Drawing from the work of Dr. Pamela Wible, a physician who runs a suicide helpline for other doctors, she addresses the ultimate want, the desperate desire for an end to suffering. Dr. Wible just completely reframes the entire conversation with this one powerful question. What she suggests is that for many people, the fundamental desire isn't actually to die, but to stop living with a pain that is relentless and unbearable. The goal then isn't to end a life, it's to build a life that is truly livable. So this path to a livable life, it starts by figuring out the true source of the pain. The enemy isn't life itself, it's the specific pain. Dr. Wible points out that for many of the doctors she's spoken with, that source is an abusive job. In that kind of context, quitting isn't failure. It's a radical, powerful act of self-preservation. It's about finding a way to live. Okay, and it's absolutely crucial that we are very clear here. This is an analysis of source material, and it's for informational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional medical or legal advice. So if you are struggling, or you know someone who is, please know that help is available. You can call or text 988 in the United States to connect with the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline anytime, day or night. So after this journey, from a simple impulse all the way to life-altering decisions, where does that leave us? What's the key takeaway from this whole exploration into the psychology of wanting? The common thread through all of this is the hidden power of our own desires. From a trivial want to that burning need to win, to the desperate want for an end to pain, these forces are driving our actions in ways we don't always realize. That wanting it tax, it shows up everywhere, and the price we pay can range from just a few dollars to absolutely everything. And that leaves us with one final crucial question for you to think about. Because the most important negotiation you'll ever have is the one with yourself, about what you truly want and why.